Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Swahili Sunday. Indigo welcomes you as well. Say hi, Indigo. I think she wants to go outside. You're gonna have to wait until I'm done, Indigo. I'm sorry. Come up here. Come up here and wait. Gotta love it. Dogs are like puppies are like kids. She's 7 months old now. Come on, up here, Indigo. Come. No? Yes. Good girl. Okay, this is Indigo. Now. She's 7 months old, Belgian Malinois Shepherd, also known as Maligator. Right, Indigo? Yeah, pretty girl. It's a pretty girl. Uh, these dogs have a lot of energy. Let me tell you what's the truth. I take her to the dog park once, sometimes twice a day. I don't know if we're going to the beach today or not, but she'll go somewhere to run today. She has to run. It's just my girl. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you're listening after the fact, thank you so much. Wanted to share a little bit about the word of the year and why I do that and why you might want to consider doing that as well. What's your word of the year, Indigo? Her word of the year is probably energy. Anyway, word of the year. Why do I do that and why is that important? So last week I talked about setting goals and the importance of setting goals in a proper way that they become actually actionable instead of simply being a list. You can go back and listen to that. You can see it in the blog. If you're on my email list, it came out in that as well. Those are just important things to consider for your year, setting your goals so you have some things to focus on. And then at the end of the year, reviewing them, or throughout the year, reviewing them and make course corrections or adjustments in case things aren't going. Maybe something shifted. Like, for instance, in 2018, I had a goal to um, do more speaking engagements, etc. But God had other plans for me and shifted my goals and focus to Kenya and starting to build the mission that I'm doing in Kenya now, and which I said yes to. And while it hasn't, and then COVID came and speaking sort of, I mean, I know a lot of people, I still did some online speaking, but the in-person speaking was gone. So I'm starting to build that back up again a little bit. I'm not focusing on that because you can't focus on two things at once. Plus, I'm working a corporate job to cover the business expenses and baskets and beads until it gets to a profitable point. And we were almost there before COVID, and now we're actually starting to move in that direction again. And so you can't focus on a whole bunch of things at once and expect them to be done in excellence. So people refer me to speak, and I will do those referrals, or if I see a call for speakers, I might apply for it. But I do very few free speakings anymore. Obviously, Toastmasters, I'm a Toastmasters accredited speaker, and I do speaking for them at no cost. But um, there are very few, and veterans groups. But I do very few free speaking for anybody else because I just don't have the time. And I need to focus on baskets of beads. Anyway, so setting the goals, and I had the goals for speaking, but then I had to shift them to baskets and beads and focus that as well. And I do still have speaking in my goals, but a certain amount of paid speaking engagements. And one of the things on my don't do list, because I also made a list of things not to do. And then thanks to my good friend Vanessa with her things to leave behind, I made a list of things to leave behind. And then I also chose a word for the year. And for me, the word for the year, last year I had two words, grace and gratitude. It provides a foundation for where I want to go. And this year, my word is abundance. And abundance is, oh, let me see. I have to see what it is in Swahili because I forget what it is now. Um, so with abundance, there's one thing that you have to um, be cognizant of, because you can, so I can set my word for abundance for the year, and But if I'm not specific that I want positive things in abundance versus negative things, I could get an abundance of negative things. And that is not what I want. So, oh, it's wingi. Is abundance in Swahili. And abundance to, let's see what the actual definition. I like to get what the meaning is, what they say in the dictionary. So abundance is a very large quantity of something. And we always think about, oh, pray for abundance, but you have to be specific. You don't want to set a word out there that can then bring you a bunch of negative stuff. So if I said, oh, I want abundance, so abundance being a very large quantity of something. Abundance could come to me, I want an abundance of good health and versus an abundance of health, because I could get bad health if I don't be specific with what I want. So I want an abundance of good health, an abundance of profit, an abundance of low expenses, an abundance of my dog not playing with the squeaky toy when I'm doing a live. You could probably hear it, the squeaky toy in the background. She loves those squeaky toys, and she does things to where she chews through the thing and gets a little squeaker out and then chews up the squeaker. But so my word for this year is abundance, but an abundance of good things, because I don't want an abundance of bad things. A lot of bad things could come my way if I'm not specific with what I want. Oh, you want an abundance? Here, you can have an abundance of this. Yeah, so like for instance, last year my word was grace. Okay, I have to negotiate with the dog to stop this. Let me give her a different toy. Yeah, you want to chew on this one. Good. That one doesn't make any noise. Is good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, that worked. Yay. So that's my word for the year. So what is your word for the year? I'd love to hear what your word for the year is. What if you haven't thought about a word, think about it. Think about choosing a word. In the past, some of my words were excellence, ease, easy, meaning things were going to flow easily for me. Excellence is one of the Air Force core values. So excellence was in as was a word that I wanted to operate in excellence. Does that mean I leave those things behind? No, I'm still doing those. Those are still part of my makeup and what I'm doing, but I've chosen abundance to be the foundation because I want the women to have an abundance of positive things happen to them in Kenya. I want an abundance of orders so that ladies can earn income. And then our other group in the soapstone, the Kisi region that does the soapstone. And we're finding some other groups that we might consider working with as well. So I want an abundance of orders to be able to help them to actually have a better life, which is what we're working for all along. One thing that I'm grateful for, gratitude being a foundational principle last year, one thing I'm grateful for is the donations that have come in. We had enough donations come in to where we were able to pay some school fees for some kids. We have 2 kids that we're sponsoring completely outright, everything, all their care, and then some others for school fees only. And the little bit of donations we've had come in have been able to cover. Somebody made a big donation at the end of the year, and it was able to cover school fees for 3 or 4 kids, and then our other 2 kids. So that helped there, and I'm grateful for that. We've stopped providing the food packs because we are doing more regular orders, and our goal from the beginning was for them to be fully supporting by their own contributions. Obviously through COVID that was not possible, and so we continued the food pack program from March 2020 until the end of December. Now I will probably, when I go there, still give them that as a bonus. So that's what I would do when I go visit Kenya. But now it's more focused on things like the school fees, making sure their kids have the opportunity to get an education. And school fees, it's not just school fees, it's uniforms, it's all their supplies. And if they're boarding, they have to have the like things to, like a box to keep their supplies in, and all the things for them, a mattress and things like that. So those kids that board, it's even more expensive to cover their costs. And then I think they have 4 terms this year to kind of make up time from what was lost during COVID and catch kids back up. But we kind of take it for granted here in the US to have that opportunity for education. But they that a lot of parents there struggle to make sure that their kids have the ability to go to school. So I'm grateful for anybody who's donated, and we are still taking donations to help with those situations there. Basketsofbeadskenya.org is where you can go for that. Let me let that go for a little longer. Basketsofbeadskenya.org. If you want to donate, it's tax deductible. We are looking at doing some fundraisers here in the local area this year because one of our big goals is to take our group of ladies on a trip to the coast. Now, it wouldn't be as expensive as doing a trip here, but it's still going to be, we think, about $10,000 for 30 plus women, which would cover their transportation in a bus to the train, and then the train to Mombasa, and then the transportation to the place, and then the place, and then the food, and all that type of thing. So if you're interested in helping with that, you can get in touch with me, or if you know a big organization that might be willing to do a large donation, please connect me. You can email me at eldana@basketsandbeadskenya.com. That would be great. But going back to the word of the year, I'd love for you to post, if you've done that, if you've set a word for your year, I'd love for you to post it in the comments area. If you haven't, I'd love for you to think about that and actually do a word for the year and think about, okay, well, what do I want my year to be framed around? So this year, I wanted to definitely be framed around abundance. Everything we do in positive abundance, not just abundance, because it could be, like I said earlier, it could be, if I say, oh, I want an abundance, and again, the definition of abundance is a very large quantity of something. That's why your words are so, uh, there's a scripture that says, I'm paraphrasing because it depends what Bible version you read. It's basically the power of life and death is in the tongue, so you can speak. And then there's kind words are like honey, sweet for the soul, and healthy for the body, which is a proverb. But you've got to be very specific with your words. You have to choose your words specifically. So if you use the word abundance, make sure it's positive abundance, and you kind of do some writing around that of what you're going to bring in and what you're going to reject. So I'm rejecting the negative side of abundance. I don't need a large quantity of bad things to happen. So being specific with that, but think about what your word for the year may be. Now, underlying one of the things I'm leaving behind in 2021 from 2021 is lack of faith. So I'm replacing that with walking by faith. And I'm always talking about walking by faith and not by sight, which is another scripture. But walking by faith means, okay, faith is the things you don't see, and you have faith that it's going to happen. And sometimes I get in doubt, and I get in, there she goes again with the squeaky toy. Sometimes you get in doubt and you get in disbelief. Here, let's negotiate. Here, chew on that. Let's not chew on this one right now. She's looking at me like, what did you do that for? I don't mind that. I can tune out the squeaky, but I know it comes through the earbuds, and it just like, it's very loud. Anyway, so I don't even know what I was saying, because the doggy, not a dog, a doggy, she's over there. Get back on track with that. But, oh yeah, walking by faith. So I have to have faith that God put me in this position, and I said yes to that, to work with the women in Kenya, and that the doors are going to open for more sales, and that the funds are going to come in to make sure that we can support kids in school until that we get to a sustainable living wage for them. We aren't to that yet. We're starting to build back to that, and we're doing some things behind the scenes. Like, I have somebody helping me here, Vanessa, and then Elizabeth, who is an awesome virtual assistant, and then the other people on my team for doing things like bookkeeping, accounting, and things like that. If you ever need a recommendation for any of those people, I can highly recommend people that can help you. Joe DeChara is he's a great CPA and bookkeeper, but I already have a great CPA. So he does my bookkeeping. Debbie Morgan does my taxes and accounting on that side of things. And Cynthia Lay does my website, my Think Like a Negotiator, my Eldona Luis Fernandez website. My Baskets and Beads website is a Shopify store. So we've used the Shopify. She's helped me with that some, but using the Shopify theme for that store. Yeah, and then I have other people behind the scenes helping as well and supporting, and friends and family members. And it's always good to have those people on your team. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing without them, especially since I am working a job on top of it. So I don't get things done as fast as I would like to, but poly poly, like they say in Kenya, step by step, take some time. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to cover today. Oh, I wanted to show you my mug that my friend Alex gave me for Christmas. It says, "I survived another meeting that should have been an email," and I have my Kenya tea in there. This is hysterical. How many meetings have you ever been to that's like, we could have done that in an email? So sipping some Kenya tea with that. Anyway, I would love to hear what your word for the year is, and what even goals, if you have some goals you've set. Go back and look at the goal setting statement that I taught about last week. It is now blank, which is the date, and I am or I have blank. So those are some great things that'll start your year off right and get you on track to be a success, whether you have a business or you're working a job or you're raising your family or you're going to school or whatever you're doing. You're going for some goal of some kind. Just set your goals, set your foundation, and take each day with gratitude, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Don't take anything for granted. One of my friends and his wife were in a car accident, and she was in the hospital for 10 days, and she's recovering at home, but she's still not all the way back. So we're praying for her. Another friend of mine, I just heard, lost his son. It, I see people losing family members all the time on Facebook, young, old. You don't know when your time is up, and don't take any of that time for granted. Just tell the people that in your life that you love them. Make sure they know that you love them. Make sure that you know that they know you're there for them, and that you're always going to support them. You don't know if that last hug you gave, or that last goodbye, or that last I love you is going to be the last time you get to see them. So that's just a little word for today, because there's so much going on in the world, and we never know. We never know how much time we have, or when our time is up. So I'm praying that God's going to keep me around for a long time to make this mission in Kenya successful, and that these ladies will be able to be living an abundant life, and their children will have education. That's my dream. That's my mission. That's my whole foundation in life, is to make sure that those ladies, I just have such a love for them, have that opportunity. And then anybody working in Baskets and Beads has had the opportunity to also get abundance in a good way from working or supporting Baskets and Beads in some way. Oh, before I go, check out the large soapstone bowls. We are reducing our quantity. Okay, you can't chew on my slipper. She took the slipper up with her. We're reducing the quantity because we're getting a new shipment, a new style. So I think I have 27 large soapstone bowls now, because I sold 2 yesterday. They are half off. So if you go to the website for the large solid color soapstone bowls only, not the zebra soapstone bowls, all the large solid color soapstone bowls, there are, I think, 27 left of them. And they make great planters or great decorations, or you could put dry food in them, but they are not good for eating wet food, which is why we are moving them out and moving in a new style that you can eat in. So those are going to be on sale until we move those out. So there's 27 of them left in various colors. I think there's one dark green, one light green, several turquoise, several yellow, but there's one or two of the other colors. So if you like those, they're normally $37. They're half off. Half off. That's a great deal. So go check that out at basketsandbeatskenya.com or in the store at Fairtrade Long Beach, because I have several of them in there. So we're moving those out. I think the next month we're going to have the new products I ordered come in, and we will be going from there. So check that out. You can't do bad on that deal. It'll be taken automatically. The discount will be taken automatically when you check out. So go check that out. And also the gray t-shirts, gray Baskets and Beats t-shirts are on sale. I'm going to put all of those on sale eventually here because I'm working on moving some inventory and restocking with other inventory. So check it out at basketsandbeatskenya.com and make it a great day. See you all soon, Nakupenda.